Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in here to the Sit Down, a sports entertainment show presented by BuffaloSauceGod.com and presented by Duff's Famous Wings, the best damn chicken wings on the planet, hosted by none other than the Sauce God at Buffalo Sauce God, 12 Gauge, the producer and also a co-host, longtime vice president of the Game Book Network, and of course, the newest co-host, Tyler, the Ramparts Hockey. We'll be back here in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Do us a favor, hit that like and share. Join us here in the comments section and be prepared for a great show as the NFL playoffs are now amongst us. And we have some breaking news as far as what's going on with the Buffalo Bills. All that and much more right here in the Sit Down, a sports entertainment show. All right, here we go. We're live here in the Sit Down, right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on Twitter Live. And we're live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here, as always, with your sports coverage for the Bills Mafia, as well as all sports and all entertainment assets as well. So if you haven't already done so, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that share, hit the follow button, and turn your notifications on, subscribe, whatever it may be, so you don't miss any of the live content or any of the content coming from myself or these guys over here at the Game Book Network. So I want to welcome everybody in here to the Sit Down. It is a wonderful Saturday. It's getting cold out there. I'm looking to my left right now, and there's snow. There's weather, right? We've got a lot going on. We had news come down from the New York State governor. A little crazy, right? So we got a lot to discuss, but I want to welcome in my co-hosts, of course. It is Saturday. 12 Gauge. How you doing on this fine Saturday afternoon, sir? Well, I'm going to go ahead and assume that Gage is having a wonderful Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to go ahead and bounce it back to Tyler now and say, Tyler, how are you doing on this fine Saturday? And please tell me you speak.
Oh, Guy, man, I'm doing fantastic. You know, we got 70-mile-an-hour winds in here. So, you know what I'm doing on this Saturday? Drinking a cold brewski.
Yep. And, of course, it's playoff football, Tyler. We've got action today. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs and Miami Dolphins later on tonight, but we've got the Browns and Texans to start us off. First-year quarterback C.J. Stroud leading the Texans. Joe Flacco, 50-year quarterback, leading the Browns. A lot more on NFL playoff matchups this weekend. As far as what happened in the Bills game, we're not playing on Sunday anymore. We've got much more about that as well later on in the show. So don't go anywhere. Hit that like and share. Join us here in the comments section. You're live here in the Sit Down presented by Duff's Famous Wings and BuffaloSauceGod.com. Gage, let's play that introduction video, and let's kick off this show, and let's have a big Saturday and have a great show. We've got Bills football, NFL, and we've also got Sabres talk ahead as well. So let's get it going. Gage.
My mouse isn't working. There we go.
Looks like Gage just dipped out of the show. I'm not sure exactly what happened just now, but let's go ahead. We're going to play that introduction video. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. Stay tuned.
Let's get this over with. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's simple, baby. Buffalo Bills football is heck, all right? Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna crack a cold one since it's a tailgate.
Ooh, ice cold, Mike. Let me tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are live here in the Sit Down with Sauce God, a sports and entertainment show.
I'm whipping the sauce, I'm tripping, of course, I want it all. All of my dogs be running with God. Your mama, you're holding your pennies and bra. Cause when I get whipping the sauce, you taking it off. I'm dancing on tracks like stuff in the yard. We keeping it quiet, we moving in signs, but now we starting to riot. Yeah, keeping my eye on the prize. I got me a queen, we riding like Bonnie and Clyde. Trips to Dubai, the way I be blessing, I'm destined for changing my decimals. Decibels hitting the wave, I'm rapping incredible, splitting their head like a cantaloupe edible. Got me so high, I'm touching the sky. Of course, I give it my all. I'm whipping the sauce, kicking the door, feeling we been here before. She ain't involved, well, she ain't involved. Taking my shot, even if down, we tying the score. Do your dancing, now twist, don't stress, don't trip. Whipping sauce real quick, stay dripping, sipping on cognac. Roll tea in my veins, but you find that I'm whipping it, watch it get saucy.
How you doing it?
I'm twisting and mixing them, shaking them haters right off me.
What you doing?
All right, we are live here in the sit down on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on Twitter as well. So if you're watching on Twitter, do me a favor and join me on my Facebook page at Anthony Balmasudo or on YouTube at Buffalo Sauce God, so you can join us here in the comments and discuss everything around the NFL and Sabres talk as well, because we've got a couple new segments in the show this week. We've got a lot of great stuff ahead of us here. We have ourselves some inclement weather. We had ourselves some changes to the game. And Gage, I'm sure that some of this is going to come as a shocker to you, because I know obviously you had a late night with some of the production and stuff that you were working on, but you didn't even get a chance to really see some of the news today. So you're going to be a little shocked when you hear some of this as well. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, hit that like and share. Join us here in the comments as well. And I want, Gage, if you could pull up the actual whole playoff matchups. I know obviously today we've got the Browns and the Texans coming first. We've got the Chiefs and the Dolphins later on. Then we were supposed to have the Bills on Sunday. Could you go ahead and take us through the NFL playoff schedule for Wild Card Weekend?
Well, as you said, today we got the Browns traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. And tonight on Peacock, we got the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Miami Dolphins. We're supposed to be at 1 o'clock, but I hear there is something interesting brewing around that.
Yep.
Later on in the day, we got the Bay Packers going to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, and at night in the nightcap, we got the LA Rams going to Detroit to take on the Lions. Monday night football, we got the Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'm hearing also on Monday, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep. So, of course, it was handed down by Governor Kathy Hochul herself. And we'll talk about more about the Bills game ahead, guys. We'll have all your offensive and defensive keys and analysis for the Bills game up and coming. But the game was officially moved to Monday at 4:30 p.m. from its original slot of 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And let me tell you something, man. It was a little shocking. Kathy Hochul straight up said, it's got to be about safety first, which I understand, but, this ain't some fucking throwaway game up in Rochester, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering, was it really going to be that bad on Sunday versus Monday? Monday's supposed to be shitty, too.
Yep.
So it's a little shocking for a playoff game, because you're supposed to play, play as it lies, almost, right? And I understand, obviously, it's supposed to be a little shitty. I'm looking outside. It's windy as hell. It's been windy for almost a week, it feels like, and it ain't stopping. And Orchard Park is going to get slammed with way more snow than I had here in Batavia. So I understand that the conditions will definitely be there. I just think, wow, it's a bit shocking. Tyler, when you saw the news, man, what was your first thoughts?
The ratings, man. Everyone wants to see that Blizzard game, man. I mean, look at a couple years ago, the Lions and the Eagles. That was interesting to watch, man. Shady McCoy went crazy, and then that ultimately got him to Buffalo. Yep. So, yeah, I was a little upset about it, but, you got to live and you live. So,
I'll tell you this much, too. I just think it's amazing, because obviously you guys know how much money goes into the NFL, and it just makes you – this is something I pointed out to Gage the other day, that New York State – gets a 51% revenue tax on all sports books and sports betting in New York State. That's half of their profits. It's almost like Kathy Hochul had the fucking over, and she said this game has to happen with better weather. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit shocking, because it's a big game. It's not just a fucking game in week 3 of the NFL regular season. This is the playoffs. This is wild card weekend with your number 2 seed, the Buffalo Bills, against one of your premier teams in the NFL. Maybe not one of the best teams, but the Steelers. So I understand it's got to suck too. And I'm going to give some Steelers fans a little bit of fucking justice. It's got to suck for the guys that came here. They can only get here for Sunday, and sorry, like what the hell? Now you got to extend that whole time by 24 plus hours. So it's a bit shocking, but do I think it's the right decision? That's the question.
Work.
Yeah. Well, it's Martin Luther King Day on Monday too. That's the one thing that we kind of have a little bit of advantage of. But as I said, I think it's just my initial opinion of this is just it's a bit shocking. It really is. I mean, this early too. I understand it's Saturday, but I guess if you're going to make that decision, you got to make that decision sooner than later. But, if you guys have any opinions on this, feel free to join us here in the comments. You're live here to sit down with Sauce God, Rampart, and also my guy 12 Gauge over here as well. But we're discussing everything with the Buffalo Bills right now and NFL playoff matchups this weekend. And I want to go back to the talk about the playoff matchups real fast. Because Jalen Hurts is going to be playing against the, as we were talking, the Eagles play who?
Fucking
Tampa, right? Yeah, they play the Bucs, and right now the Bucs are playing some decent football, and it's like these teams that are like barely making it in the playoffs. They end up like fucking beating like a higher seed or a higher record team sometimes. That like think about the Seattle Seahawks years ago when they were 7-9. No offense, I know that came against your Saints there, Tyler, but I'm just saying. I think the Eagles are possibly done. Jalen Hurts' hand is fucking hurt, and no pun intended there, but a bit shocking. You obviously got the Niners. They're not playing this weekend. The Ravens ain't playing this weekend. They got first-round byes. Those are two of the premier teams in the playoffs right now. But I think, if you want my prediction, Kansas City's going to beat Miami because they have the experience and because there ain't no way that Miami's going in the playoffs this year and beating Kansas City in their first go. They're not going to do that. It's not happen. So, I think Miami's going to lose that game. The Bills are going to win this game by $1 billion.
It's supposed to be fucking colder than here in KC.
Exactly. But my question here is, who wins for the Houston Texans and Cleveland Browns game?
Oh, I believe in that.
It's supposed to be colder than here in KC.
Didn't Mike McDaniel wish it were colder?
He wore a shirt saying that.
Yeah, and Gage pointed out on his Facebook this week, by the way, which I fucking
He
love.
wishes it was fucking colder.
Yeah, I wish it was fucking colder. Like, you do, huh? Come on down, Mike. Come on down, Mike. Hit your vape. You know what I'm saying?
Wish for.
But, Tyler, who do you think wins in the Cleveland and Texans game?
I love that Cleveland and Houston game because I think it go either way. It depends. I think Houston's the scariest, or I think Cleveland's the scariest team in the playoffs right now because of that defense. But I also, CJ Stroud might knock him off, man. It might happen.
CJ Stroud has been turning heads all year. He's been proving doubters wrong all year. He's been proving doubters wrong since he got drafted. When they said, he didn't have high enough of like IQ on the QB test or whatever. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be good. Well, it literally made everybody look stupid in Carolina for taking Bryce Young. And CJ Stroud is a winner, and he's also a leader, and I respect that. I think the one thing I'll give to the Cleveland Browns here, though, is that Joe Flacco is 86 years old and playing like he's 10. So Joe Flacco's got all that experience. And now, by the way, Cleveland could have saved millions of dollars on car insurance by just getting Joe Flacco off the waivers instead of giving $235 million to guaranteed fully to Deshaun Watson to sit at home and get a massage. I think Cleveland's going to have the experience. I think Kevin Stefanski is a great head coach. But another thing to take note of is you probably have Coach of the Year and second to Coach of the Year in this game. Kevin Stefanski and DeMeco Ryans, a lot of respect for what DeMeco Ryans and those Texans have done this year. And they drafted well. They got Will Anderson. I think that they have a good shot at making this a little bit more difficult, but I think the Cleveland Browns just have a little bit more experience and a little bit of a better roster. And like Tyler said, they're fucking dangerous right now. Gage, what do you think? I'll tell you what, I've got picks for that game as far as the total later on in the show. But Gage, what's your prediction for that game?
Oh, Cleveland's winning 100%.
I like it.
I love this comment, by the way. Bills
That
rule.
defense is fantastic.
Mike Shimbersky, by the way, co-host that's been here on the sit down, aka Shimbersky, aka
Shimmy
Stacks, is in the comments right now. I want to say what's up to him. But good predictions from my guys over here. You know, Tyler and Gage both agree with me that the Browns are going to win this game. So you both agree with me that Kansas City is going to beat Miami.
I do. I think it's going to be all Pacheco. I do.
I think you're going to see a lot of Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really do. Gage, what about you?
And I'm going to see a lot of Taylor Swift as well.
Yeah, Taylor Swift might win that game by $1 billion.
Old.
You're pretty sure she's in the Illuminati. And if you don't see me ever again, you know why. By the way, we're going to go into our first segment here, the Sauce God rant of the day. My whole rant of the day is, Kathy Hochul, I know you got the over in that Bills game. I do. I know you fucking got. When I saw that 51% revenue tax, I think it was yesterday, it was like, whoa. Sports books have been taking people's money for years, and New York State said, nah, we're going to fucking take your money too. And then we're going to tell everybody we're still poor. We can't fix the roads, even though you pay to drive on the fucking throughway that we don't fix. I'm just tired of the decisions being handed down. This is a fucking NFL decision. Okay, you want to institute a travel ban, let the NFL make the call, because Roger Goodell, you know, he probably would have fucking wanted to move the game too, but I know the NFL was monitoring the situation, but they weren't ever really discussing the possibility of moving this game. I think that this is a game you've got to give for the elements. If just the elements of a fucking blizzard game and a shitty weather game, it's like, it's Buffalo, New York. We don't play in a dome, okay? And also, my mother was pregnant with me in 1994 when the Bills played the Raiders, one of the coldest weather playoff games in history. My mom was pregnant with me at that game. Pregnant. You didn't hear her complaining. You know what I'm saying? So, like, come on, man. All I'm saying is we could have had a possibility. And if we end up getting 2 inches of snow, I'm going to be pissed. That's all I'm going to say. That's the end of the Sauce Guy rant of the day. But if you have just now tuned in and you haven't done so, please hit me with a like and share, hit the comment button, and join us here in the comments and talk everything about the NFL playoffs and Sabres talk ahead as well. We have more about the Bills and Steelers matchup that'll take place on Sunday. No longer it's Sunday. It's now Monday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. So if you haven't already done so, also hit that follow, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, join us on Facebook or on YouTube. We're going to go into our next segment here of Bada Bing, Bada Boom, the coaching changes in the world of football. Let's play the video.
This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away. You got to get them close like this. Bada bing! Bada bing!
All right, so the coaching changes in the world of football were huge. I mean, you've got some fucking juggernauts that were not going to return to their respective teams. Number one, New England coach. He is no longer going to be there. If you guys understand, obviously, the fun and the humor that goes into that. Bill Belichick will no longer be coaching the New England Patriots. They have agreed to mutually part ways. But Bill Belichick is not retired. Bill Belichick is expected to possibly coach somewhere else. People have talked about the Chargers. There's been people that have talked about teams like Carolina. Who knows? Nick Saban, longtime coach of Alabama, has also retired. You know, of course, he's a college coach, a little bit different, but he is retired. And, you know, I honestly chalked it up to it's been a long time, but LaShawn McCoy had a tweet. He goes, nah, it's the NIL. They ran him out. He couldn't control all the 5-star recruits anymore because they could go wherever, make money, and it opened up the playing field. Which makes sense. Pete Carroll will no longer be with the Seahawks. Mike Vrabel is no longer with the Titans. That was a bit shocking. Antonio Pierce looks like he is the head coaching front runner for the Vegas Raiders job. And Gerard Mayo was actually signed as the Patriots head coach. I don't think that there were any other massive coaching. Am I missing one or no? Okay, I didn't think so. So in the world of football, I mean, Bill Belichick, whether you want to agree with it or not, Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches. I know without Brady, he wasn't very much, but dude, the way that he has turned players that weren't good with some teams into better players with them on minimum contracts and to win 6 Super Bowls is a testament to how great that guy truly was. Even though he beat my team twice a year for a lot of years. Hats off to Bill Belichick. on a great career with the New England Patriots and go somewhere other than the AFC East, and I'll be exactly happy with that situation. So congrats to him. Pete Carroll was a bit shocking because Pete Carroll has just seemed to keep the Seahawks relevant every single year. And this is also after getting rid of Russell Wilson and not having the Legion of Boom. Seahawks have played good football. But Mike Vrabel was the most shocking because I'm going to tell you why. A couple years ago, it would have made sense. He made some coaching decisions that were a little questionable and kind of resulted in that possible loss that occurred in the playoffs, right? But now you get rid of him after you're in a rebuilding year and you're bouncing back and forth between quarterbacks. And the Titans were nowhere near as good as they were in recent years, but they still were 5-11 and played spoiler to the Jags on their season. So you're telling me that Mike Vrabel deserved to go? I don't necessarily agree with that. Tyler, what do you take away from the coaching changes in the world of football?
Man, I hate to say this, buddy, but man, how good would it be to see Belichick on the Browns? Szymanski, if you don't win this playoff game, Bill Belichick's going to be on the Browns, baby.
I honestly think Belichick will end up with the Chargers.
See, I think that's Pete Carroll's job.
Yeah, Pete Carroll is expected to resume with the Seahawks in an advisory role at least for a year or so because he tried his best to keep the job. He didn't want to go.
Yeah. Yep.
But what else, Tyler?
I think what happened was I think he thought Geno Smith was the guy. Okay? And when you put your neck out there like that, like, oh no, I can rebuild this team. We're gonna have playoff success this year. What if that goal mark wasn't reached this year? And they're like, okay, we're gonna try someone younger that can relate with the guys more. Because you got to remember, Pete Carroll's 72, 71 years old.
Exactly. He's an older guy. Hey, you don't seem like he's that old sometimes. The way that he moves around and the way he is with his players. One thing I always took away from Pete Carroll was that he was successful at the college level and successful at the NFL level. And that's something that you don't traditionally see, which you're going to probably see Jim Harbaugh commanding some NFL attention. Obviously, he's had success at both levels. But going back to that, Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson were playing a game of pickup basketball, and Pete Carroll was giving him the work. I mean, that says a lot, that he's not just a coach, he's an athlete, and he's one of the guys too. And I have a lot of respect for Pete Carroll. And I think that what he did with the Seahawks organization is next to none. I mean, they were good and dominant for some time there too. But even in the years that they weren't supposed to be good, he seemed to keep them in the picture. And I mean, he had Russell Wilson playing really good, and Russell Wilson didn't necessarily take that on with his first year in Denver, and not even this last year. He was cut by Denver. So it says something about Pete Carroll as well. But if you guys are just now tuning in, you're live. You're in the sit down on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on Twitter. And if you're on Twitter, join us on Facebook or on YouTube. This is presented by www.buffalosaucegod.com, your source for daily entertainment, Bills Mafia coverage, and merchandise of the Sauce God. And also presented by Duff's Famous Wings, the best damn chicken wings. Go to the one on Sheridan Drive. You don't even got to say extra crispy, but remember that medium is hot. That's all I got to fucking say. All right, we're going to go into our next segment here. Forget about it. What teams will exit after this weekend and why? Let's play that video.
What's forget about it? If you disagree like a Lincoln is better than a Cadillac, forget about it.
And forget about it usually is, the bad things we've seen, but I'm not trying to have any sort of negativity in that regard. So we're going to talk about what teams we think will exit after this weekend. And I mean, we already discussed a little bit of it, but we also need to talk about what's going to happen on Monday. Do you guys honestly believe Philadelphia has a chance at losing to the Bucs? And as far as the other games on Sunday, what do you guys think as well?
Forget about it. I don't think Baker Mayfield's gonna get out Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and them guys.
AJ Brown ain't playing.
Oh, he's not?
He's out.
Yeah, but Slate's still there. So
whoa.
Yeah, AJ Brown ain't playing, and it was a bit shocking. And Jalen Hurts is like said to be super questionable too. Yep. It's almost like Sirianni is fucking throwing in the towel. Like, nah, we'll just try to rerun this thing next year. So, but come on,
dude.
That's a loser's mentality if that's the case. But I have a lot of respect for Nick Sirianni, obviously Western New York native. But I think that there's a chance that the Philadelphia Eagles do exit after this weekend. And then for the other games in the NFC, we have what?
Steelers are out of there. Get them out of here.
Sorry, just I got the update from the lady. The weather's getting bad out there, fellas. It's getting bad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, buddy.
So, get your beers, get your toast, get everything up, ready to
Stay
go.
warm, boys.
Up in here.
Stay warm, chat.
Hey, Gage, could you give us a little bit of background music? Yeah, son of a...
Absolutely.
So, Sunday games, we have the Detroit Lions are playing who?
Detroit Lions and Green Bay's playing Cowboys. Detroit. Gage, who's Detroit playing?
Detroit's playing who?
LA Rams.
Oh, yeah. Jared Goff
Okay.
versus Matt Stafford.
Detroit's winning that game because it's their first home playoff game in however long. They're winning that game. So,
I hope so. Lake Erie, baby.
Very reminiscent of Buffalo in 2020.
The comeback game trade.
So we have the other game.
Green Bay and
What's the other
Dallas.
NFC game? Green Bay and who?
Dallas.
The Green Bay and Dallas. Dallas. is
Green
winning
Bay
that
and
game.
Dallas.
Man, that hurts, dude. Because you got Aaron Jones in the backfield with AJ Dillon. You seen what we did to him? Run the ball up
Healthy
the
Christian
gut,
Watson.
baby.
Yeah. Green Bay's played some fucking good football as of late, and specifically Jordan Love has played very good as of late. So you know what? Maybe I ought to pause there because Dallas is starting to kind of. They're like right here though. They're kind of running steady, and CeeDee Lamb is playing off the fucking charts. Their defense is playing really good too. We know that Dallas, whether you like him or not, or whether you hate him or not, it doesn't matter. Dak Prescott's had a great year. CeeDee Lamb has had a great year, and the Dallas Cowboys have definitely had a great year. But I think that Green Bay got hot, and it's almost like, I don't know, there's a little bit of magic brewing over there for Jordan Love and the guys. And I mean, hey, I gotta root a little bit for the underdogs. So maybe Jordan Love and the boys figure out how to get the cheeseheads on the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. There's a possibility. You know what I mean? And all right, so we have our teams that we think are going to exit. Obviously, I don't think anybody here is going to pick the Steelers, and if they do, I'm going to kick them off the show. But if you guys are just now tuned in, you are live here in the sit down with myself, the Sauce God, your source for daily entertainment, sports entertainment, and Bills Mafia coverage. And make sure to check out all my reels and all the content that I got on my pages because they're absolutely booming. They might make you laugh. They might get you hyped. Either way, entertainment. And also, I got my guy over here, Tyler, a.k.a. Rampart, a.k.a. Rampart Hockey. He's going to talk more about the Sabres here ahead as well. And we've got the producer and the co-host, Mr. 12 Gage, on stage with the rage, and he can't be put in a cage. And we're going to go in our next segment here, ladies and gents. When we forget about it, we got to talk about the number 2 seed, Buffalo Bills, hosting the Steelers for the wild card weekend on Monday at 4:30 p.m. And that means we've got to give you our offensive keys, our defensive keys, our unsung hero, the weakest link, all that and much more. So don't go anywhere. Hit that like and share. Join us here in the comments. And let's go ahead, Gage. Let's play that next video of the victory formation, the Bills' offensive keys against the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. All right, so victory formation for the Buffalo Bills this week, man, it's going to be really, really, really simple, okay? I think offensively, especially with the weather and everything that we're hearing for that, it's going to be very important for the Bills to establish the ground game or figure out if you want Allen to lead the way in the world of passing. Because as my father said to me on the phone, with Allen's arm and the cannon that he's got, he might just whip it through the fucking conditions. You never fucking know. But are the receivers capable of not coming out with any drops this week? I don't know. It's fucking tough. Those receivers do it to me every week. Guys are not. But I think if you can get the run game going, especially with Joshua Allen, number 17, he's back here doing a couple hurdles. You get him going, you get him ferocious, and you get him to be a big boy. It's going to be hard to stop him no matter what. Now, the other thing that's a little unfortunate for the Steelers, and obviously you know how I feel. I want to play against the best. I don't want to play against a depleted roster, but the Steelers will be without their star defensive player, probably the best player on their football team, TJ Watt. It makes a big difference. If you don't get that same type of pass rush, man, you give Josh Allen time, he's going to make you pay. And exactly the thing that the Steelers do really well is getting pressure, and their defense has been a little bit troublesome for the Bills in recent years when they have played against them. Now, Gabe, tell me, 2 things the Bills offense is going to do against the Steelers that gives them the win.
They're going to run that goddamn ball. Josh Allen is going to complete a lot of passes. We have to have no drops. Zero drops. Please.
And that's what I love, Gabe, okay?
I've
Gabe
seen
fucking
too much
knows
of that
what the fuck
this
is.
year.
Thank you, Gabe. Now, Tyler, give me 2 things the Bills will do to win this game offensively.
Down to Josh Allen. That's why he's in Buffalo. Nice strong arm quarterback. Boom, through the air. Come on, baby. Don't drop the ball today. I know the feet are cold. I know the hands are cold. Get after it, boys.
Exactly. I think the Bills' offense has still been playing really great as of late. I know we had a couple of little small hiccups with Miami and this and that, but that's a divisional game, ladies and gentlemen. This is a fucking Pittsburgh Steelers team that people believe Mason Rudolph is now the second coming of Jesus Christ. It's like he's been on your roster for a lot of years, y'all. Ask Myles Garrett what he thinks of Mason Rudolph. That's all I remember when I think of Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's our offensive keys for the Buffalo Bills against the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. And I think a lot of you guys out there can agree with us. But if you haven't already done so, do me a favor. Hit that like and share button. Join us here in the comment section if you're watching on Twitter. Come on over to YouTube at Buffalo Sauce God, which is all my social medias. Or on Facebook at Anthony Bombasudo. And on the ticker down below. The ticker down below, it's actually got all of that listed for you guys, which we are live Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, presented by Dust Face Wings, and presented by BuffaloSauceGod.com, your source for daily entertainment, Sauce God merch, and also everything Bills Mafia. Let's keep it going, gentlemen. We've got ourselves a great show. We've got a lot more ahead of us as well. We've still got Sabres talk as well. But we've also got to talk more about this Bills-Steelers game that will now take place on Monday at 4:30 p.m. All right, let's go into the pain trains, the defensive piece for the Buffalo Bills against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Play that video for us. All right, the defensive case for the Buffalo Bills. Let me ask you, Tyler, what will the Bills do twice? Two things. 2 things the Buffalo Bills defense will do that is going to give them the victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pain trains are coming.
Saying it all year. You know I've been saying it all year. My guy, that back. Come on, boys.
Telling you, man. Gage, tell me, what do you believe? 2 things this Buffalo Bills defense is going to do to give them the victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We got to turn the football over. We got to pick Mason Rudolph off. We got to stop Najee Harris. We got to contain George Pickens. We got to contain Dick Johnson. We got to contain Pat Price and everybody on that Steelers offense.
So what Gage is saying is basically don't let the Steelers offense at all do a fucking thing. And I honestly agree, because don't give them any momentum. Don't give them any hope, right? That's a very underrated fucking answer. I like that, because they have playmakers. Whether or not they've executed with said playmakers, I think is more of a testament to their, number 1, offensive coordinator troubles they had, and number 2, their quarterback situation. I don't think Kenny Pickett's the future. I thought maybe his rookie year he showed signs, but in his sophomore season, to me, he regressed. I know he's been hurt too, but to me, he regressed. And then Mason Rudolph, yeah, playing a little bit better. Mitch Trubisky, obviously we know how that story went. But I'm just saying, I think the Steelers, if you get that pressure and you make Mason Rudolph non-existent, that's going to be it for the Steelers. They can run the football as well as they want to. But if Mason Rudolph is not playing well and he's pressured, and the Bills can get sacks and they can drive them back and they can create turnovers, the Bills defense has done its job like they do week in and week out. I think Rasul Douglas is going to have to be an absolute menace this week because there is no Taylor Rapp this week. I know that we're also without – who was the other key player that we're without this week too? We got Micah Hyde back this week, obviously. We got Jordan Poyer back there. But I know Taylor Rapp is not playing this week, and I think there was one more player too. Real quick too,
Gabe
real
Davis.
fast. Yeah, Gabe Davis is out this week. Yes, he is officially out this week. And I'll tell you what, for a week to have your number 2 receiver out might be the best possible scenario for that situation. Quick shout out to Taron Johnson, defensive back for the Bills, on his second team All-Pro. He earned that award, and that's a great accolade to add to his list because I'll tell you what, Taron Johnson, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, slot defensive back in football. And, dude, he makes plays week in and week out. He's an unsung hero every single week. That's how damn good this guy is. Overall, stopping the run is what Matt McDonald here says. And, Matt, I fucking like that answer. I think the Steelers with Najee Harris and Warren can definitely bruise you a little bit, but the Steelers' offensive line ain't that good. And they're going to have to try to pass to play catch-up is what I'm saying. So, really, defensively, the Bills' offense can be the best defense. They control the pace of this game, and they don't give the Steelers any chance to get it going, and they put up too many points where they got to play chase, and they got to try to catch up. Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going, man. We've got ourselves a great show here. You're live here in the sit-down. And did Rapp definitely already have a calf injury before the interception last week, or did he get injured on the play? I think it was starting a little bit before that play. I know he was a little hobbled before that, but I don't think it was pre-existing injury or anything like that. I think it was just in that game-time situation around there. But, hey, made the play when he had to, right? Even when he was hurt. A lot of respect to that guy. So, guys are just now tuned in. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following. Make sure you have your notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the live shows or any of the content come up from myself, the Sauce God, or any of these guys over here. Soon you'll be seeing the Game Book Sports and Entertainment Network, which is on the way, man. A lot of people maybe remember the Game Book, and that is making its way back around. So let's go to our next segment here, ladies and gentlemen, of the 4th and 1, evaluating Josh Allen's quarterback play as of late. Gage, let's play that video. In the 4th and 1 play, Josh Allen's going to take it. Oh, he bobbles the snap, but he picks it up. He fights forward. He's still fighting. First down, Buffalo. Josh Allen refuses to quit. First down, let's go Bills. Josh Allen has played much better when he's running. Josh Allen has played much better when he looks like he's having fun. Josh Allen plays much better when it's a game to him and it's not a job and it's not all this pressure and this and that, but he also plays well when he is up against the wall and there is pressure. I think Josh Allen needs to go out there and just have a fun time with his teammates and say, hey, we got the number 2 seed. We did everything that we had to do to get to this point. We came back. You know, we came from 6-6. We're 11-6, divisional champions for the 4th year in a row. Why not? Why not us is the question that he should be asking his teammates. Why not us? Because we've been here. We've been here every single year, and we've been in this mix for a long fucking time, and we've had more adversity than a lot of fucking football teams out there. We had a player die on the field. We had things happen where people are saying our number 1 receiver doesn't want to be here, and he wants to trade. All this nonsense. Stephon Diggs last week was crucial in the Bills' performance. 7 catches for 84 yards, something like that. Okay? I'm just saying, Josh Allen, go out there this week and have fun, man, because that's what we in Buffalo and Bills Mafia love about you is that you're like a big kid. You're a gamer. That's what earned our respect for you, you know, and people will say the Anthony Barr hurdle is what really, truly opened their eyes. But I'll never forget how he played against Jacksonville that year in his rookie year when Jalen Ramsey had all that shit to talk about him before, you know, he had actually played. And he said, you know, it's a trash pick for the Buffalo Bills. I never understood it, but I'm happy with him this year. He throws a lot of interceptions. But Josh Allen fucking shut his ass up. And maybe he didn't do so in the most, you know, elite quarterback passing, but he also ran all over them and he got plays made when they needed to happen. And that's what I love about Josh Allen. That's why he's my quarterback. I don't care if we haven't won a Super Bowl yet. I ride with Josh Allen till the day I die. I love that guy, and I love what he's brought to this franchise and brought to this fan base and brought to me having football in January that I can get fucking amped up about for Kathy Oakland to move the game another day. You know what I'm saying? But real fast, Tyler, let me ask you this.
Okay.
You saw Josh throw some picks last week. Concerned at all or no?
Nah, not at all. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's Josh. You know, he believes in his defense. He believes in his squad. He's going to keep it rolling. You know, he's not going to – he's a quick memory quarterback. Oh, yeah, someone else might pout, but he's over there saying, buddy, don't worry about it. Like, it's okay. We're going to get this ball back. Don't believe that.
Wait, who's Mike Shabursky talking about? He's still a piece of shit. Mikey, who you talking about, big guy? But no, Tyler, I like that answer.
Oh, man, don't.
I think he was talking
there's any
about
reason to be concerned. If there's a time that
Josh.
Josh Allen turns up his level of play, it is in the playoffs and it is in crucial moments. And I know obviously last year the whole situation was you can't look at last year. You have to look at the overall sample size. And Josh Allen has been that dude. And I'm ready to watch him absolutely light it up and see what he needs to do. Hey, and even if he doesn't have to light it up for the Bills to win, that's okay too, because he does that really well. And he also gives the credit to his teammates where credit is due.
Take a breath.
Hashtag let James cook, baby. You know what I'm saying? So let's go into our next segment here. But if you haven't done so, you're here to sit down, which we're live Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook Live at Anthony Bomasudo, my Facebook platform. Make sure you're liking and following, and your notifications are turned on. Also live on Twitter at Buffalo Sauce God and on YouTube at Buffalo Sauce God. Make sure you're following and subscribed with your notifications on as well. We're here presented by Duff's Famous Wings and presented by BuffaloSauceGod.com. Myself, the Sauce God, and of course, for some reason my camera ain't mirrored, but Rampart over here and my guy down here, Mr. 12 Gauge on stage. You can't put him in a cage, but he's got a rage that will make you say, hey. And yes, who scored? His name was Tage. We got hockey talk here ahead as well, but we're going to go next into the unsung hero. Let's play that video of the unsung hero, who's going to be the under-the-radar performers of the week on offense and defense. All right. We've been picking these really well in recent weeks. I'm just going to say that. The under-the-radar performer of the week for the offense, I'm going to tell you, Deontay Hardy. I have a funny feeling after his punt return last week that we might have awoken a sleeping giant. That's all I'm saying. Defensively, I'm thinking it is going to be this week Dane Jackson. Dane Jackson's going to step up and make a couple little plays, a couple of pass deflections or something, or maybe a crucial tackle, force fumble, something of that nature. Dane Jackson, with all this talk about getting burned, well, Mason Rudolph might throw you a duck. That's all I'm going to say. Tyler, what do you think the unsung heroes for the Bills' offense and defense this week will be?
Kyle Allen, baby. Go Josh Allen while he's throwing those picks. Come on, man. We need you because at the end of the day, you're the quarterback's best friend. He loves you, man. And on defense, I'm going to go Jermaine Johnson, man. He's been playing it like an absolute lockdown cornerback all year. I don't want to see Deontay Johnson get nothing.
Yeah. I like that. Tyler, great answers. Gage, who are your picks this week for the unsung hero?
I got to go with Khalil Shakir on the offense. And our defensive line. Our defensive line has got to get after Mason Rudolph.
Are they going to be a fucking brick wall?
Got to get there.
I can see a little bit of a brick wall coming, and I like that. It's a good picks right there, Gage. Real fast, by the way, Reggie, man, my buddy Eddie Wilson's younger brother. Good to see you, man. I thought you and your brother used to be Patriots fans, I'm pretty sure, until obviously the Bills became relevant. But we'll take you on. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding, Reggie. You might have been a Bills fan this whole time, but your brother Eddie certainly wasn't, and I have my receipts, always. But anyways, guys, we have more of this show still ahead of us. We've got our free betting picks and props. We've got Tyler's and Gage's segments ahead, and we also got Getting Saucy as well. But we're going to go next into the weakest link. What gives the Bills the advantage versus the Steelers this week? Play that video. And the weakest link is we're going to talk about, who and what or why gives this Bills team the advantage over the Steelers team. And I think right here, this comment that I have highlighted by Joey Hatch, yes, this Bills game is officially 100% handed down from the Empress herself, Kathy Hochul. It was handed down today that the game will now take place on Monday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time. And that is the situation for that. So I think a lot of what is going to give the Bills the advantage is the weather. I mean, the Steelers, yes, they play in a cold city or whatever, but I think the Bills are going to be ready for this shit. I think a lot of Bills players get excited for it. You heard T. Higgins say, I don't ever want to play in a snow game again. It's like, what? Like, dude, did we not as kids literally look outside and say, yeah, let's go play some backyard football in a foot of snow? And then I come home after dinner with my parents and there was a fight in my backyard on Elm Street. There's blood all over my backyard, but hey, that was life. That's all I'm saying. But Tyler, what do you think gives the Bills team the advantage, or what is the disadvantage the Steelers have?
Chris Bodwell. I think Tyler Bass.
Good fucking pick.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, fucking Tyler. I like it, man. Tyler comes with just some real insight. I like that. So does Gage. Gage has got some great stuff too. And I think honestly I like it because you guys got some answers that I kind of ain't even expected. But Gage, what do you think the Steelers' biggest disadvantage is this week against the Bills?
I gotta go with Mason Rudolph.
And that's also Mikey's
disadvantage pick for the Steelers.
And that's also Joey's pick. So Gage, Mike, and Joey also all came in at the same time.
There you go, Shimi.
I like it very much. Now, by the way, Joey, it is a shame, that we are moving this game, but it's for reasons that are outside of ourselves, and we don't make those decisions, obviously, but it is 100% confirmed by the Bills, by Kathy Hochul, and by the NFL and ESPN and all sort of outlets. But the real confirmation you need is from Sauce God. So if you guys haven't already done so, make sure you're following with your notifications turned on. Make sure you like, subscribe at Buffalo Sauce God, on Facebook at Anthony Bomasudo. Make sure you check out the website, www.buffalosauceguy.com. And if you've never been to Duff's Famous Wings, get your ass over there ASAP, the one on Sheridan. You don't even got to say extra crispy. The proud sponsor of the sit down, proud sponsor of the Sauce God for a long time now. I want to give a quick shout out to them. Quick shout out to my co-host Tyler, aka Rampart, and aka Ramparts Hockey, and also 12 Gauge, the producer of the show. And I want to give a quick shout out to my girlfriend who does the voiceover on my intro. I love you, baby. And quick shout out to Buffalo recording artist Mark Lee, going on the 1,000-mile tour. Was just on Channel 4 in Buffalo. Awesome stuff. And he's got the official song Sauce that he gave to me to use for the introduction. So I want to give a quick shout out to Mark Lee. Check him out, guys. Really great hip-hop artist out of Buffalo. So we're going to go into our next talk here, guys. We talked about the Bills. We talked about the NFL. But let's get a little bit away from the NFL for a second because the Sabres play here in just a few moments. We're going to go into some Sabres talk with Tyler, a.k.a. Rampart, starting with this segment of These Guys Are Good. Scary good. Let's play that video.
And as you guys see, that clip that we just had there, maybe we could update that every week. Tage Thompson scored a beauty the other night and followed it up with another one. I'm fired up here. I know you guys are saying, you're in the Atlantic Division. It's kind of a weak division. I'm fired up, though, because Tuck's been just clicking. Everybody's been clicking. I'm ready to take on the Vancouver Canucks tonight, which is a good team from the West. Just saying. I am happy to take them on tonight, 4 o'clock Eastern. I wish I could be there. But JT Miller, Brock Bessier, they ain't got nothing on Tager and Skinner, baby, if he plays. And I'm just saying if he plays. I believe, man. I believe in Buffalo. I believe in
Now
us.
do you believe, man? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Sabres, and just a real shout out to Timmy. Timmy goes, the Sabres are playing Canucks. They're underdogs. Well, they beat good teams. And Timmy don't know much about hockey, but he knows the Sabres can beat good teams. I think they are trending in the right direction because Tage is healthy. You see, like Gage told me the other night, put him on a ticket. Put him for anytime goal scorer. What does he do? He gets us 2 goals in the first period. Love that. Gage, we're going to play the next video here for Tyler. We're going to talk about the one-timer. That's the next segment here for the Sabres Talk. Let's play that video.
Tager, baby. And that's the first time I'm seeing that video, boys. So you know, one love, baby. But listen here. I love that because once the big man gets going, we're going to be fired up because it's ironic. It really is. Middlestat's going to keep it going, and then he's going to pass it off to you guys. Like J.J. Pacherko is going to bury it. Come on, boys. Come on. You got to be fired up in the locker room. You can't let this go to your head. You let it go, so what? We can score just as fast as they can.
We can score faster than anybody in the NHL at times. That's what I'm saying. The Sabres team is explosive. And Tage Thompson, when he is electric and scoring the goal, I think this team is just so much better. And, hey, we're just a couple pieces away, I think, from really being one of those teams. But, hey, we might have, honestly, Tyler, like you said last week, we might have turned the corner. And I know people don't necessarily see it record-wise, but you have to be patient. It starts with just 1 goal at a time, right? Good stuff, Tyler. I love that. So, hey, that's our segments of the one-timer, and these guys are good, scary good, and that's going to take us into our next segment here, and this is going to be Gage's debut, actually, of the 12 Gauges Lockdown. Let's play that video. Gage, what do you got for us? What is your Gage's lockdown picks of the week, man?
Well, for soccer in the European League, I like the Tottenham Hotspurs to beat Manchester United. I like Chris Kreider to score a goal for the New York Rangers. And tomorrow, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Touchdown anytime.
Gage, good picks, man. And I had some good picks last night for NBA. Of course, Toronto and Utah decide to have 79-point quarter, almost a half of scoring itself. After I need the fucking under, and it's looking nice all first half, and then all of a sudden, whoa, it goes way up through the fucking roof. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the beauty of sports betting is. But by the way, guys, we do not encourage or endorse any illegal or underage gambling of any sort. Bet and play at your own risk where it is legal to do so. And understand that if you have a gambling problem, there is a hotline. I don't know the number. I ought to just have that one of these weeks, but I don't have a gambling problem, so I've never had to call. But if you do have a gambling problem, there is help available to you. It's no joke, guys. No joke. But we're going to go into our next segment here of I'll Take That Action, which is going to be my picks of the week. Let's go ahead. Let's play that video. Yeah, hey guys, life is too short to bet the under. I don't care if it's 59, I don't care if it's 67, you gotta ride the fucking over.
This is fucking ridiculous. We need a fucking touchdown. The stakes are high for these ones, boys.
Over-unders, give me points.
Man.
Bet and play at your own risk where it is legal to do so, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to tell you what my live picks of the fucking week are, and it just starts right and simple. You got to go over in the first game tonight, okay? You got the over in the 4 o'clock game here with the Texans and the Cleveland Browns. In the words of Tim Taylor, they got to put up at least 46, okay? And they're in a dome. They're in Houston, obviously. So that also gives us a possible advantage in that regard. Got no weather conditions. But also, I'm going to tell you, I know it's going to be cold. I know everybody's saying, hey, it's going to go under. It doesn't matter if it's cold. The Miami Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs are two teams that are capable of putting up 30 themselves every single week if they play and execute right. So you take the over 43.5 in that game. For the Buffalo Bills game, I'm not going to make any picks. The Steelers game, I'm not going to make any picks. But I will tell you this much, too. I also like David Njoku to score a touchdown tonight. And I also like, what was it? I don't know. But those are my lock picks of the week.
Taking away my guy.
What? I steal David Njoku from you?
My David Njoku pick. You stole him from me.
Ever since Gage gave me
fuck.
David Njoku as a fucking prop betting pick, David Njoku's had a fucking Pro Bowl caliber year since, okay? So now I'm riding Njoku because that's Gage's guy, and 12 Gage has got rage about David Njoku on stage, man. You know what I'm saying? Damn. But of course, guys, like I said, bet and play at your own risk. And those are the free picks given out to us, which we have every single week here in the sit down, which is live Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here on Facebook Live at Anthony Bomasudo, and on YouTube and on Twitter Live. Well, actually, it's called X now. I forget. Thanks a lot, Musk. At Buffalo Sauce Guy, where you can find all my social medias as well. BuffaloSauceGuy.com is where you can find more content and merchandise as well. Things like chicken wing reviews, all that sort of stuff. And hey, if you want some Bills Mafia themed merchandise or things to bring to the tailgate, well, it's a great source for that as well. So let's keep it going. We have a little bit more ahead here. We have just one more segment, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the final segment here, which is presented by Duff's Minis Wings, the proud partner of the Sit Down and the proud partner of Sauce Guy. The next segment here of Getting Saucy. Let's play that video.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Ice cold, nice, refreshing Labatt Blue on a fierce storm behind JA-17.
It's a cold front, is what that is.
I'm fired up this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get you fired up. Bills Mafia, you want to hear me getting saucy this week? It's simple. Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, and also, too, the Miami Dolphins, and anybody that's got anything bad to say. Bills by a billion, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Bills. All right. Simple, baby. You got to stir the sauce. You got to have your gloves on and go number one of all fucking time like Michael Jackson's Thriller, baby. I got the glove on the left hand because I'm about to fucking stir the sauce and pinch the fingers. And it starts with executing the game plan, knowing your opponent's weaknesses, but also knowing your strengths and staying humble. One play at a time, one drive at a time, one fucking step at a time, for crying out loud. Is all I'm saying. Trust your guys next to you, and you play for the guys next to you, and it doesn't matter who makes what play, as long as you come out on top with the only statistic that ever mattered in any sport ever, the final fucking score. And the Bills, what's going to be the final score for them? It's going to be Bills by a billion. Yes, Bills by a billion. It might honestly be the first time we ever see 1 billion points scored in a fucking game, but it will happen because the Bills will continue the momentum. They'll get through this, and hey, I'm not looking at the next matchup. I'm looking at just this matchup, and that's the same mentality these Buffalo Bills must have behind their quarterback and fearless leader, Josh Allen, and behind their head coach, who I have a lot of love and support and respect for. And just, it was 7 years ago today that I posted on my Facebook. I think I'll give this Sean McDermott a chance. I kind of like the guy. That aged very well. So, if you guys have not already done so, make sure you're following, make sure you're subscribed, make sure your notifications are all turned on. You are here with myself, the Sauce God, at Buffalo Sauce God across all social media platforms, and at Anthony Bomasudo on Facebook, and co-hosted by my guy over here on my right, really technically on your guys' left, Tyler, a.k.a. Rampart. Tyler, where can the people find you on social media, brother?
You can find me on Twitch, Rampartaki3. And then that's about it. So
And of course, guys, we got Gage, aka 12 Gage, the producer of the show and also a longtime co-host and vice president of the Game Book Network. Gage, where can the people find you on social media, bro?
Well, on Facebook, they can find me at my full name, Gage Scott Oliver. For Gage Oliver 24, and on Twitch they can find me at, I can't remember my Twitch name, so
I think it's GX Oliver 21 or something.
Don't find me on Twitch.
It's actually your PlayStation
31.
Yeah, excellent stuff, man. And of course, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you can tune in to us here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on Twitter Live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, make sure your notifications are turned on so you don't miss any of the content or live content coming from us over here at the Game Book or the Sit Down. This is presented by Duff Smith's Wings and presented by www.buffalosaucegod.com. We'll be back Monday, ladies and gents, but make sure you tune in with me when the Buffalo Bills do play the Steelers at halftime and postgame for all your live updates for the Buffalo Bills in this 2024 NFL playoffs. As always, God bless. Go Bills, go Sabres, let's go Buffalo. Stand tall.
Sabres Brown right now.
Have a great fucking weekend, guys.
hey.
Let's go, Buffalo.
Let's go, Buffalo.
The Bills make me want to shout.
Throw my